Canada's Environment Minister Catherine McKenna has co-opted a Christian holy day to push her pagan climate change agenda. Today I'll show you what she said, why she's an ignorant hypocrite, and why I think even her own staff must deeply dislike her. Yes, it's catechism, Catherine McKenna style. Catherine McKenna, fresh off her jumping the couch moment at that Liberal pro-carbon tax rally in Toronto earlier this week with Justin Trudeau. That was the event where she said we're all going to die in 12 years without her carbon tax. Now shows us she knows about as much about Christianity as she does about science. Just watch.
So here we are. I'm at University of Windsor, and it's Shrove Tuesday, and Pancake Tuesday, as many people know it. It's the beginning of Lent, and I've decided that I'm going to give it up for climate this Lent. I'm looking at what I can do personally to take action on climate change. I had a chance to meet with the Pope a couple years ago, and we talked about how we all had to be working together for our common home. But anyway, celebrating today, and going to be starting tomorrow. Looking forward to these pancakes.
Yes, friends, that was Canada's intrepid Environment Minister wishing us all a happy Shrove Tuesday celebration and explaining to us what she's going to sacrifice for Lent. She's going to give it up for climate change, whatever the heck that means. And she thinks her reasoning is solid here because she met with the Pope one time a few years ago and talked about stuff. Well, maybe next time McKenna meets with the Pope, she could ask him for a quick catechism lesson, because Lent is not about celebrating. And it's certainly not about climate change and her carbon tax. Many Christians, like myself included, fast and give up things for Lent. But there's a reason for that. We regard this as a baptismal season, a season of contrition, and 40 days of self-sacrifice where we try to become closer to the suffering of Christ for the redemption of all mankind. It's not about McKenna's neo-pagan climate change doomsday cult agenda of high taxes on struggling families. Who in their right mind thinks that way? You know what? Don't answer that obviously rhetorical question. Now, I was doing a little research on McKenna. I understand that she went to Catholic school for a very long time. So how on earth does she not know what Lent is all about? Maybe she skipped the lessons about Lent the way she very clearly skipped the lessons about how Catholics believe that abortion is wrong. I mean, she is sitting in a cabinet as a minister in a party that outlawed pro-life candidates. Look, I'm Catholic, so I look at the world through a Catholic lens, but I'm not offended here. Honestly, I hope McKenna keeps talking like this for a very long time, because every time she opens her mouth these days, she just sounds crazier and crazier. And really, I'm just pointing out the ignorance the Liberals seem to get a pass on, especially from the mainstream media. McKenna's complete and total ignorance of the holy day aside, do you think that she would co-opt a Muslim holy day this way, completely misunderstanding the concept behind the holy day, and then using it to make an awkward video to push a political pro-carbon tax agenda? Do you think McKenna would get away with a pro-carbon tax, climate change, fear-mongering Ramadan message? I don't think she would. Not even for a second. Why? Because I guess even she's not that dumb. It's not allowed in the Liberal Party. That particular religion, it's sacred, worthy of special treatment and M103 protection, according to the new Liberal credo. I have one last point to make, and honestly, it's kind of petty, but I don't think that Catherine McKenna's staff like her all that much, because even though myself and her staff are probably fundamentally, ideologically opposed to each other on just about everything, I bet some of her staff are moderately intelligent people with some very good instincts about what is decent and acceptable and not completely tone deaf. Yet still, they posted this video with credits and music and editing and all. I think her staff are trying to embarrass her. I mean, they must be, and it is working. Now, I did just say I was done, but I think I probably do have one last point in me. I think my last point shows just how little McKenna truly understands the holy season of Lent. I'm going to read a quick Bible verse, and I know I have people from all denominations and all faiths who watch me, even some atheists, and that's fine. Because while this is a religious quote, it's probably generally just good life advice, and this passage is often read on Ash Wednesday at Mass. It reminds us how we're supposed to do Lent and how we are supposed to do good works and charitable works, like, I guess, giving it up for climate change. From the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 6, verse 2. When therefore you give alms, do not sound the trumpet before you do, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be honored by men. And as for me, I absolutely cannot wait to pull Catherine McKenna's travel expenses for the coming 40 days just to see how much she really did give it up for climate change this Lent. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. What you just saw there is the daily video that I do here at The Rebel, but did you know that I have my own weekly full-length show? It's aptly called The Gun Show, and it airs every Wednesday. But to get access to my show and the rest of our incredible premium content, including Ezra Levant's nightly show, The Ezra Levant Show, and David Menzies' hilarious Friday night show, The Rebel Roundup, please treat yourself to a Rebel subscription today.